Welcome to Divination Dietitian. I'm Cassie. I am a clinical dietitian and holistic healer. Today's message is definitely interesting, to say the least. So I'm just going to kind of show you like a little brief introduction to today's message, and we're going to dive into this and try to dissect it together. The first card I got was ovum, which is an unfertilized egg. Then we got sperm, and then we have uterus. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one, guys. And we're just gonna try to unpack this together, and it's gonna be different, of course, for everybody. But there's definitely a lot of fertility, reproductive organs, reproductive health, um, birthing energy here. Another card that I received was rebirth, and we have motherwort, which is also a uterus, and this is a rebirth. You can see the baby down in the bottom there. So I pulled some cards already, so we'll just kind of unpack this together. And I don't want to misinterpret any of this. And of course, it's going to be different for everybody, but I enjoy reading the oracle messages. So we're going to read this together just so that we can really unpack it together. So the first card with the ovum, I drew three herbal medicine cards, one of them being the rose. And we got rose twice actually here. So we have rose here, which is two hands with some blood trickling down, which obviously roses have thorns, and sometimes we can get hurt. And you can see their hands are together here. So, yeah. So we have the rose, we have eucalyptus, and we also have pennyroyal. So these messages here. So let's start with the rose. So it says these are just some of the medicinal properties. So practical medicinal properties is used as a gentle laxative, mitigates depression, grief, stress, and tension, reduces thirst, good for wound healing. And it says the magical properties are used in healing spells and balms, sprinkle outside the house to ease domestic upheavals, and it protects your dreams. And then the eucalyptus, practical, decreases pain, apply to nose and chest to relieve congestion, steam to treat coughs and flu, and repels insects. Some of the magical properties: brings energy, heals worries and regrets, eases mental fatigue, short-lived but potent protective power. And then pennyroyal is used to treat the common cold, pneumonia, and fatigue, has insect repellent properties, can be used to end a pregnancy. Magical, leave in satchels around the house to ease quarrels, carry when sailing to ease seasickness, and it's good for travel. So I think it's kind of interesting that this one can be used to end pregnancies. And it says seasickness, when sailing to ease seasickness, good for travel. I was just like thinking like nausea. And then the ovum. So I just want to read the ovum card first, and then we're going to dive into some of the other messages here. And if you're interested in my last reading, I believe it was the last one, the ovum came out then as well. And so I do kind of feel like this is a carryover of the last reading. And so we will kind of see what comes out in this reading as well, just to kind of, see what's going on here. Okay. So the ovum, the key words are potential, fertility, rebirth, hope, and manifestation. So, hope, potential, and new beginnings are on the horizon. If you have been considering making a major change in your life and starting anew, this would be the perfect time for a reinvention or new direction. The ambitions you have been holding on to and working hard at for a while now have the potential to come to fruition. And then the rose that is in this oracle deck, I want to read that as well, because this is pretty symbolic for, I would say, love with like a counterpart, right? And so the fact that that came out with this rose, and love essentially with the ovum, that's kind of, to me, that's kind of a big deal. Okay. So the rose is number 12, which breaks down to a 3. And okay, so all right, so this card represents union, bliss, unconditional love merging with the other, oneness, nourishment, purity. This astrological ruler is Venus and the moon. So, in ancient texts in Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine, the rose had a prominent presence, particularly in relation to balancing the emotions, relieving the heart of depression and grief, and treating psychospiritual imbalances. The rose is sacred to Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty. Since ancient times and across culture, the rose was associated to love, passion, and commitment and lust. The Romans, Greeks, and occult societies suspended roses from the ceiling at meetings that were held in the strictest of confidence. Roses represent all aspects of the goddess, the almighty creatrix, the ability to love, nurture, experience joy, and see beauty in all things. A popular flower that has come to be associated with weddings and rituals of union. Roses fill vases. Roses fill vases, are worn by participants and guests, and are often strewn about to bring divine blessings to the couple's love. The herbs of Venus are feminine, gentle, relaxing, and balancing. Medicinally, rose has the power to uplift mood, nourish the heart and cardiovascular system. It makes an excellent uterine tonic that supports fertility and vitality. So we got this, with the ovum, and then there's the uterus as well. The antiseptic nature of rose make it an excellent remedy for wounds and bruises. It also relieves spasms in the respiratory system, gut, intestinal tract, and muscles. Roses medicinally and energetic qualities resemble the archetypal nature of both Venus and the moon. So the guidance here is it is time to allow for greater love in your life. Allow the dance of trust and intimacy to heal and open your heart. Like the rose, you are rising from harsh soil through the path of thorns and challenges as you grow and blossom in your spiritual journey. Look deep into your heart and see where you might need more love and affection. The white dove reminds us that through childlike trust, we can navigate the most challenging of pathways with an undertone of joy and presence. Remember, you understand how love is the doorway, and through this sacred embodiment, you are able to birth anything into manifestation. Let all creativity, all sexual and nurturing connection be attuned to the vibrational powers of unconditional love. Wow. It's pretty crazy. And then the tarot cards that we have here with love is the Knight of Pentacles, which is, you're not making any decisions. You're not really moving anywhere. You're more so like thinking about really what direction you want to go in. And then you have the Page of Swords. So, I mean, these can all mean several different things. But the Page of Swords to me is like communication in a way, especially with this like full moon on this card. It's something that's being illuminated in love. And then we have the Two of Swords, which is obviously we have some resistance here. Maybe there was some pain, right? Because we have the blood with the hands here from the thorns from the rose, and so we have some resistance, right? We're protecting our heart. If you see, it's crossing right over her chest. And then we have Judgment. So, she's making a judgment call, right? What's best for her? What do we want to birth into creation, right? Okay. The next one is the sperm. And the two cards that I pulled from the herbal medicine deck is elderflower, and the practical properties is reduces swelling and inflammation of the nasal cavity and sinuses, helps fight the common cold and the flu. And then we have the magical properties, where to ward off evil, assault, and negativity, staunches the temptation to commit adultery, and use for rites of death. So it's almost like this like death and rebirth energy here. Like there's something that's ending here. Like it says to ward off evil, assault on negativity, staunches out temptation, like almost like lustful energy to commit adultery. And we're putting an end to that basically. And then we have patchouli. So the practical is reduces inflammation, fights bacterial and fungal infections, used for the common cold, headaches, and to repel insects. And then the magical properties leave in a wallet to bring financial success, spread under the bed for lust and passion, burn to connect to lost ones. Interesting. Okay, so let's read the sperm. I told you this is going to be very, very crazy reading here. Okay, so the key words is potential, excitement, energy, and sexual energy. The excitement when entering into a new romantic and or sexual relationship. You may be experiencing heightened emotional and sexual feelings at this time. While it can be wonderful to revel in these feelings, don't allow these intense emotions to get in the way of your understanding of where the relationship may be headed or what you want from the relationship. Yeah, I was picking up on that lustful energy for sure. And then what came out in terms of the tarot was we have, the lovers. And as you can see, like, in this tarot deck, they're in a sexual position, right? And so it's definitely some lustful energy. And it's coming in quick. Maybe you have somebody, but they're in hermit mode. Maybe you haven't heard from this person in a while and they've been self reflecting on some painful things that were said or done. And that's why you're guarded. And now this person, the sperm for me is like a masculine energy, right? The ovum is the feminine energy. So like this came out on the sperm. And so I say he, but whoever is in the masculine energy, I'll say he. And it's like a very fast incoming lustful sexual energy that might be coming in quick towards you. I'm not sure, but that's like kind of like what it feels like. And this person, maybe you haven't heard from them in a while, and so now they're coming in quick because they're thinking about you. They're thinking about what you guys did together, right? And then the two cards that came out with that was cordyceps, which says revival. And see how it's like a stick there? Or it's really, it's the cordyceps, but you know what I mean. And then we have Grace with Shasandra. And I always like coordinate, or not coordinate, but always associate the swans, as like counterparts, like feminine and masculine. But you can see how she's got the two cups and she's like pouring the two cups. It kind of reminds me of like temperance card. And so, yeah, I just want to read these messages on here just because like I think it's important that I read them. So we're going to read cordyceps, or actually I just opened it to Shasandra. So we'll do Grace. So inner beauty, inspirations, euphoria, visions, supernatural powers, and synergy. Astrological ruler is Jupiter and Venus. In traditional Chinese medicine, flavors are seen as energetic symbols within a plant, demonstrating its distinct healing traits. Schisandra berry contains all five flavors: sweet, bitter, salty, sour, and pungent, directly signaling its all encompassing and highly medicinal nature and earning it the name Wu Wei Zi, or five flavored berry. Perfectly yin yang balanced, Schisandra nurtures all five elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, and enters all 12 energy channels or meridians of the human body. As the symbol of longevity and beauty, even suggesting the ability to attain immortality, Schisandra is pictured often in ancient Chinese art. Considered a panacea, it increases energy, prolongs life without aging, benefits the mind, supports the eyes, acts as an anti-inflammatory, helps against radiation, protects from the nervous system toxicity, cleanses heavy metal toxicity, supports adrenal function, supports the lungs, benefits sexual function, balances hormones, and protects the skin. Schisandra is ruled by Jupiter and it has an all encompassing, longevity enhancing, and expansive medicinal nature. The way it embraces all five elements, all 12 energetic channels, and all flavors provides longevity to every organ system and harmonizes all polarities. Also, a signature of Venus. So the guidance, like the temperance card in the tarot, the goddess holds a cup of water representing the subconscious as she crosses over a stream of water representing the conscious mind. Shasandra's medicine teaches us about the high alchemy of beauty, grace, and the harmony of dualities. Like the medicine of Swan, Shasandra is here today to remind you of the grace within balance, patience, and moderation. You are being invited to allow life force to flow through you without force or resistance. Follow your visions and pay close attention to the subtle language in your body and surroundings. If you feel out of orbit or aloof, make time to ground. Grounding will only facilitate your development to higher consciousness. Okay, well, the next one was revival, which is cordyceps. Um, and that's number 26. Okay. So, cordyceps. Energy, renewal, soaring to new heights, opportunity, activation, resurrection. Astrological ruler Jupiter, Pluto, and Mars. Originally described 2,000 years ago in traditional Chinese medicine and Tibetan medicine as an exotic caterpillar fungus or winter worm, cordyceps is a parasitic fungus that grows out of the head of mummified caterpillars, insects, and many kinds of larvae. That's really interesting because this these cards here says reduces inflammation, fights bacteria and fungal infections, and repels insects. Spread under the bed for lust and passion, burn to connect to lost loved ones. It's like almost like these medicinal plant medicines are like trying to protect you from this like fungal parasitic cordyceps. Does that make sense? And then it says, like on this one, it says elderflower, where to ward off evil, assault, and negativity, staunches the temptation to commit adultery, use for rites of death. So it's like these two were with this card, but it's like, I don't know. I hope you guys are picking up what I'm saying here. Um, let's get back to this message. Okay, so it says the first peoples to discover the many benefits of cordyceps initially observed animals eating the wild fungus and growing strong in the process. Farmers and herders either dried the fungus to make a tonic tea or cooked it with meat in traditional Tibetan dishes. In traditional Chinese medicine, it has been used as a heal-all for centuries to treat fatigue, weakness, sickness, low sex drive, kidney functions, and heart disease. Now, modern Chinese medicinal hospitals use cultivated forms of cordyceps alongside pharmaceuticals as a treatment for cancer and tumors. Monks have long revered cordyceps as a longevity mushroom and utilized it to boost endurance and enhance lung capacity. Thousands of years later, studies now confirm that it indeed slows the effects of aging and stress, helping to keep the body free from disease. Ruled by the wise, stimulating, and expansive powers of Jupiter, cordyceps provides a jovial energy, a sense of renewal, resilience, and accomplishment. Jupiter's herbs are amplifiers, joyful, and mood enhancing herbs that inspire positive feelings. So, the guidance, it's time to soar to new heights. Energy is available to manifest your greatest dreams. Passion is in alignment with knowledge. Energy is in alignment with matter. Like the great eagle, you are blessed. You are blessed with the connection to the divine. You have an innate ability to live in the realm of spirit, yet remain connected and balanced within the realms of earth. From the height of the clouds, where the great spirit dwells, the great eagle mirrors your ability to observe with expansive awareness and achieve great insight beyond the mundane. Eagle and cordyceps represent the courage to channel the higher mind, ether, the realm of illumination and higher consciousness. If you have been walking in the shadows, you are being asked to reconnect with the element of ether, the divine, and your higher mind. Heal your broken wings with love and seek a higher ground to observe the greatness of what you're made of. Okay. Well, I don't even know what to say. I feel like I'm just like kind of speechless in a way, because I definitely feel like, so far to recap, like the ovum with the love, it's like my last reading was about how love can be painful, and it's almost kind of like learning a new way of being, and that love doesn't have to be painful. But I mean, we are human, like we're not perfect. Roses have thorns, right? Even though they're beautiful. So it's like embracing the pain that comes with love, I guess. And it's like they go hand in hand almost, but it's like, what is your pain tolerance? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know my pain tolerance is very low. I have a low pain tolerance. And so for me, like, I'm very sensitive. So like, I don't have a very high pain tolerance, especially in relationships. So everyone has a different pain tolerance, and that's kind of where I'm going to leave that. But it's like this ovum, it's like waiting to be fertilized, and it's like this sperm here is like coming in, and it has like this like lustful energy, and it's like someone that you clearly know, if they're like ruminating and thinking about you and like what you guys have done in the past. And I'm just, it's like, what do you want to create here? It's like, yes, you can give grace, for pain that was caused in the past, from these thorns, and something can be revived. And, this is, it's almost like someone's coming in to try to revive something. And I don't know if it's because they are in a very lustful energy and they have all this sexual energy. And so now maybe you cut them off, because we do have like the Two of Swords, right? And you're making a judgment call that this may not be the best relationship for you. And this person has been in hermit mode thinking about maybe what they did or said or whatever. And now here they are, like, coming in really fast, and they are wanting to do what, so that they can fertilize your egg. I mean, I don't know, guys, but that's just the way I'm reading it. Okay. The next one is the uterus. So this is where all the magic happens, right? Like, this is where the ovum and the sperm come together and they incubate a baby in this uterus. So, yeah. Let's read the uterus card. Hi, Jagger. Hi. Okay. So we have keywords: possibility. So possibility, abundance, safety, protection, and creative expression. An opportunity to embrace your creative side from a place of safety, comfort, and abundance. Expressing yourself through creativity and innovation will allow you to further develop your sense of self, release any pent up emotions, process past events, and form deeper connections with others. Make the most of your creative freedom at this time. So, I mean, we are, as women, we are the ones that are, birthing creation. And again, like, just because someone is coming in with a lot of sexual energy, wanting to revive something, it doesn't mean that you have to agree. And so, of course, with everybody, you're going to have to use your intuition and make the best judgment call for yourself. Like, do we want to keep repeating old cycles again? Or is this someone that you can show grace to and maybe not have makeup sex right away, just so that you can, have those healthy boundaries for yourself, so you can really see if the person has changed. But here's the plant medicinal cards. We have ginger, so reduces nausea and swelling, helps with menstrual cramps, headaches, helps mitigate arthritis and diabetes. So again, this is with the uterus card here. So I think it's kind of interesting that it says reduces nausea, and also helps with menstrual cramps. But the magical properties: use in an amulet or medicine bag to foster good health and protection. Brew in a tea to boost positive energy. And then we have mugwort, which we got motherwort here, which, I'm going to have to look to see if that's the same thing, because I've heard of mugwort, but I haven't heard of motherwort. But we'll read that in a second here. But this one is mugwort. So it says relieves stress, boosts energy, improves sleep quality, and blood circulation, stabilizes menstrual cycles. So we have two cards here that help with menstrual cycles, and it goes with the uterus. So maybe we are having a lot of cramping, maybe we're on our period or on our cycle, and that's just something that can potentially help with that is mugwort and ginger. And so the magical properties of mugwort is burned to deepen meditation, used in divination magic, placed in a pillow to induce prophetic dreams, and increases fertility. So yeah, we'll just leave that there, and and then we're gonna take a look at motherwort, which symbolizes strength, and it's the number 13. And you can see like the water underneath the uterus, and there's also the heart in our heart chakra. And it looks like, like there's these like three people that are like climbing up this hill, but I don't really know. It's interesting. Okay, so let's read motherwort. Okay. All right, so strength, essence of creation, connecting to the creatrix within, fertility, birth, creativity, and inner trust. Astrological ruler is Venus. The botanical name comes from the ancient Greek leon for lion and aura for trail or tail, referring to the plant's leaves, which resemble a lion's tail. So the botanical name is Leonurus cardiaca. So cardiaca pertains to the herb's actions on the heart. As a whole, the name translates to lion-hearted, a term that speaks to motherwort's action on the physical cardiovascular system and the emotional spiritual heart. Motherwort has a strong history of use in both Europe and Asia and is associated with aiding mothers and women. Many cultures have used motherwort to honor their goddesses of fertility because of the herb's association with Venus and the moon. It was considered a protective plant, especially useful in spells to guard pregnant women and their unborn children from envy or evil in the air. It was often planted around the home or hung from doorways, as it was said to keep away unwanted guests, both physical and supernatural. Motherwort was either smoked or burned to use for smoke cleansing, as it would drive bad spirits out of the house. Many species of motherwort were used for heart protection and for counter magic to reverse a curse. Japanese folklore tells of a town where the main water source was a stream fed by rainwater trickling through hills of motherwort. The inhabitants of the village drank daily from this stream and were bestowed with extraordinarily long life, up to 130 years old. Ancient Greeks used motherwort to treat anxiety, depression, heart palpitations, and nervousness in pregnant women. In traditional Chinese medicine, motherwort is used to invigorate the blood. So our guidance here is like the radiance of lion's heart, motherwort's energy builds inner trust and confidence. The lion-hearted motherwort is representative of the beauty we possess when we own the power of our gifts and creativity. The goddess sits centered as the lion leans on her in a state of peaceful delight, symbolizing the unwavering faith we must keep as we transcend old fears. Venus, her planetary ruler, is like a midwife to our happiness, channeling how we accept and transmit our heart's desires. Find new ways to facilitate creativity that honor and reveal your passions and strength. Devote yourself to the fertility of your gifts and courageously accept your divine destiny. Whoa. Okay. And then the one that we got with that was the rebirth card. So we're gonna read rebirth because you can see that there's like a little baby that's like incubating down here at the bottom. And oh, it's ayahuasca. I just realized that. I didn't even like see what plant it was. I just saw rebirth because of all like this fertility stuff going on here. But you can see in this card, it's the spirit of ayahuasca. And then you can also see you have like a little, like you have an angel over here in the corner. And then there's a snake. And then you also have a jaguar, which is like a fierce lioness. Not really lioness, but like a fierce cat, like a lion. So, it's like almost like it's like that temptation. I'm like picking up like the snake in this is like that like lustful temptation energy that's like, or like a spirit that's like trying to tempt you, like almost like the Jezebel spirit, right? I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just trying to like make you aware of like there could be these like spirits lingering around you and you're trying to break free from somebody and now you're like second guessing something because your pattern recognition or your patterns of behavior is like equating pain with love. And that's why you have like the blood droppings from this card where it has love on there with rose and it's got the blood dripping down because there's clearly some pain that has occurred here, right? There's some wounds that have happened in this relationship. And you made the judgment call to block this person out of your life. And sometimes when we start to move away from these people and make better choices for ourselves, we can feel like this pull back, right? Like this, am I making the right choice? You start having doubts of whether or not you're making the right choice. And then you're like, oh, and then like you have like these cards where, oh, this person's like coming back in and it says grace and revival. And so it's like, oh, I should give this person grace and take them back. And that's not what is being said here. You can have grace for somebody for how they treated you or mistreated you and forgive and accept and have grace for someone and still move on and not welcome them back into your life and welcome them back into your bed, right? And so it's just really crazy, like the energy I'm like picking up here on this card with this snake. And it's almost kind of like you have to be really careful with what you create and what intention is behind that creation, right? And because now there's like this baby that's incubating here, and I don't know. I don't know. So let's just read this because of course everyone's relationship is different, and so it's like I don't want to persuade anybody the wrong way, and it's like we're also human. We make mistakes. So it's like having forgiveness and grace and allowing another try or another chance. But it's like for me, like it's like also kind of like what's the intention behind them coming back in? Is it because they have all this lustful energy and want to, So it's just like, has this person really changed or what? You know? So, ayahuasca. So we're going to read this and then, okay, so rebirth. Just hold on, Jagger. Wait a minute. Sorry, guys. Okay. So, upright. So it's rebirth, mastery, great revelation, discovery of higher self, meeting with the creatrix, divine messenger, gifts from spirit, realization, telepathy, and transcendence. Astrological ruler is Pluto, Jupiter, and Neptune. And I'm pretty sure Neptune just went direct, right? Ayahuasca is an ancient ceremonial brew native to the Amazon, used as a sacred spiritual medicine among many indigenous peoples within South America. In Quechua, Aya means soul or spirit, and Ayahuasca means vine. Ayahuasca is primarily made of two key plants, um, also known as chacruna, along with other ingredients which vary depending on the medicine maker and curandero. The ancient ayahuasca brew is traditionally prepared for curing ills, divination, and as a diagnostic. Oops. And as a diagnostic tool for healing others. It is served by a shaman as a sacred song, and dances are performed to honor and invoke the spirits. The brew induces a profound visionary state, igniting supernatural abilities such as vivid communication with ancestors, relationships with interdimensional beings, the ability to see into the future, and more. Amazonian folk healers have used ayahuasca primarily to rejuvenate the body and soul, as well as to purge the body of accumulated toxicity as a cellular, gastrointestinal, and psycho-emotional cleanser. Scientific studies show that ayahuasca may benefit those dealing with depression and PTSD. Shamans connect transdimensionally to the supernatural world, the spirits of nature, and the universe, receiving key information about the universe and specific instructions on how to heal individuals. True shamans are mystics, healers, and divine messengers. They enter portals and fulfill tasks and duties beyond our third dimensional understanding. Ayahuasca is regarded as a master plant by shamans and used as a primary medium along with other herbs and herbal practices that assist in the process of purification and receiving supernatural skills that allow them to channel divine energy. Since ayahuasca is composed of two sacred plants, each one archetypally contributes its essence to create this perfected elixir. Neptune is the fertile ground that holds the vision. Pluto is the cathartic experience that broadcasts the visionary state, and the profound wisdom gained is Jupiter's blessings. So the guidance here is you are mastering the power of awareness when aligned to a higher power. Ayahuasca's spirit is here to help support your ascension, drawing upon ancient wisdom embedded in your DNA and the earth. Allow yourself to be shattered as you travel through the cosmic womb. Ayahuasca catalyzes purification through the cathartic release of the known, only to reveal undiscovered terrain within your soul. You are one with the magnetic brilliance of Source, the intelligence that orchestrates the great mystery. Feeling lost in the labyrinth only comes when a loss of intentionality or respect happens. Offer your greatest intentions, sacrifice your needs into the void without expectation, and allow yourself to be consumed by the oceanic consciousness. Remember, dear one, that to heal the world, you must heal yourself. You are the source of love. Yeah. It's almost like we are like being incubated. Like this is us, right? And we're being incubated. And it's like we're about to be rebirthed into a new way of being. And it's just kind of funny that, you know, what came out with these cards, you know, with the uterus is we have the Seven of Cups, which is choices. And do you see how that one cup has a snake on it? And it's like we get to choose what we create. And I don't know, I'm not like, for some reason, I just feel like this snake here is like the snake that is in this cup. And I just feel like the intentions are like this little guy. The intentions are not so great. Or maybe that's just, maybe it's not that they have bad intentions. It's just like they only know how to connect in a sexual way. And we, as divine feminines, have to set those healthy boundaries because we deserve more. We deserve more emotional depth from the masculines, and we hold the power. But when you give away your power and you are sexually active with someone who is not deserving of your energy, then you are essentially co-creating with them, which could very well create a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like legit, like I'm not even kidding. Like you could literally create a child with this person, and then you're going to be bound and stuck to this person for the rest of your life. And then if this toxicity of pain and love and trauma hasn't been healed, then you're just going to pass that down to your child, right? To your family lineage. And what came with, the Seven of Cups, which is choices, you also have this Ace of Pentacles, and then you have the Queen of Pentacles, and she's holding the pentacle in her hand. So it's like, again, like you get to decide what to do with your pentacle. Are you going to just give it away to somebody? I don't know. I don't know why I'm like reading this. And it's not that I'm reading it in a negative way. It's just like, I mean, maybe I am, but it's more so about like empowering you to make better, healthier choices for yourself. Just because someone wants to come back and revive something with you doesn't mean that you have to give away your creative energy. So just be mindful of that. And then honestly, that's just where I'm going to leave it, because I feel like that's kind of enough. We're already at 47 minutes, and I think this is kind of heavy and a lot to kind of talk about. But it's puts a lot of things into perspective, right? I hope you guys have a great day. And of course, if you need anything, especially regarding fertility, you're welcome to message me down below. I am a clinical dietitian, and I can help with any of your fertility needs. If you are struggling with fertility, please, hormonal balances, definitely send me an email, and I can help guide you through that process to help with infertility. Everything is connected to your nutrition and your health. So, of course, reach out to me and I would be happy to help you. But stay strong. Don't give away your power. And I love you, and I hope you have a great day.